Deep beneath the recesses of the world lurk an unspoken evil. One mind, one brain, hundreds of tentacles. These are the eldritch horrors from your nightmares. These are the Illithids, the Mind Flayers. We could start like a YouTuber.
No, don't do it.
What is up,
hey,
everybody?
Guys. No, don't do that. Let's not bring that into this podcast. The day that we do that, podcast dies. We're done.
That's it?
That is it.
Oh
That's
my
it.
God.
If we do that, we're finished. I mean, we're already shilling out at the end with the iTunes thing.
That's not shilling. That's wanting people to rate it so people can, more lovely individuals can listen to this podcast. Dude.
You know there are people out there that will, out of spite, because we said it, go on there and give us 1 star.
No. We said 5 stars.
But they'll give us, because we want 5 stars, they'll give us 1.
Well, that's their fault.
Okay, well,
I don't want them listening to us anyway. If you do that.
No, we need you to listen to us. Please don't leave. Don't leave. Listen. Look at me in the
waveforms.
Focus your ears.
Look at the waveforms.
You have to look at me in the waveforms.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what we're looking. Look at me in the waveforms.
It's a good looking waveform, man.
It's a good one. It's a real. Ryan edits it. He makes it sound nice. Way nicer.
That's what it looks.
Look at me in the waveform, and tell me right now that you are not entertained.
Can't do it.
You are immensely entertained right now by
it.
me. These waveforms are hypnotizing you into going onto iTunes. Probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll save that for the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
But I've compelled you probably
Maybe.
to listen for a bit through these
I
waveforms.
don't know about that.
You know about that? Okay. Well, that probably would have been a good segue, but I have a question, Ryan, that I need help with.
What's up, man? That's what I'm here for.
Okay. So my company currently, since everybody is not allowed to go into the office, even though I'm already remote, the people who are stuck at home, who usually go to the office, got a reimbursement where they could purchase anything for their office, anything for their home.
Oh.
That would make them more comfortable or improve their desk space because they're stuck at home.
Right.
And they can't go to the office, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice.
Yes. I was not eligible for it because I was a different employee who is always remote. It's expected that I have all this shit already. But no, it does not.
Okay.
Because I just got approved for it.
Okay, so you do get it.
I do, but I don't know what to do because I can do any purchase I've done in the past 3 years.
Okay, what about your chair?
So
I was thinking I need to get myself a new chair. Mine's falling apart over here, man.
Yeah, dude, you should definitely get the chair that I got.
I'm thinking.
We don't have a sponsor for that, so I don't know, but they're releasing a bunch of new colors for that one. The Secret Labs.
I like colors.
Not sponsored. They do have Game of Thrones ones too, if you feel like repping that.
Interesting. I think I'm just gonna go with a good old classic DX racer, dude.
Disgusting.
Like every other
my dilemma,
out there, man.
My dilemma now is that, of course, I can get the full reimbursement by chucking it on a purchase, probably my keyboard that I bought or the chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I'm wondering if I should actually buy something, and my options are a desk, because this desk is like 2 feet deep, and I am like cramped onto it.
You have a budget?
I could get the reimbursement's $250, but
okay,
I can.
It's something,
buy whatever.
Right?
It's something. So it'll help out. I don't know if I want a desk.
Do they see what it is? Like,
but they don't care. It can be literally anything.
Literally anything.
Mm-hmm. We're not limited. So I could get that. Now, I know what you're going to say is you don't need this to do your thing, but a Stream Deck, just because I want to get some memes put in on there and pressing buttons and whatnot.
I've thought about
that's
Stream
an option.
Deck.
Yeah, it could be fun. I don't have the desk space for it, so there's your problem. There's a few things I could get, but I've been streaming a bit more.
It'd be like that book when you give a mouse a cookie. First, you got, if you want to get the Stream Deck, you got to get the desk, and then if you get the desk, then you got to get this, and then you got to get that.
I actually read that one a lot when I was a kid.
It's a good one, man. And then they have when you give a mouse a cell phone or something now.
But see, the problem with the desk is that the space I have for a desk in my room is rather small.
Right.
And it would take a while to figure that out and find the right one, and it may not be the best experience. And the one I have right now is completely working fine for me. I've got everything I need for my stream. I don't need a new mic.
What about for your life?
I could get one. I don't know.
Well, but just what would I think? Maybe think broader than just the stream. Say the stream is working fine for you. Think in a broader sense. What could you use in your room that would make life easier? Your light, maybe you're talking about lights.
I could get a light.
Yeah.
But I've been, like I said, making do with the lights coming off of my extra monitor. But those have been working perfectly.
It could make it easier so you're not blinding. So you could use your other monitor for something else and just like a notepad document.
So like a stream key would be good.
So, yeah, there you go.
So that's an option. It's between the Stream Deck, the Stream Key, and the desk. And I don't know what to do.
I didn't know the Stream Key. Is that an Elgato product?
Yeah.
You might be able to just get a cheaper one, like just the ring light that I got. But I mean, if they're reimbursing anyway, it doesn't really matter.
That's very true. But I might end up wanting to get a better lamp at some point. So I'm just like, get the good thing. Or I could just not buy anything and just use it as one of the purchases I've done in the past.
True, and just get $300 or $250 back.
Exactly. That's what everybody out there in the world is probably telling me to do right now, even though you aren't more responsible than I am. I know you would. You'd go out there. You'd get the Stream Deck. I know. Look, you looking at me in the waveform right now. I know.
You know what I would probably get? I'd probably buy the Go XLR. But that's like $400. But they're also out of stock right now. So.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are.
I would get that at some point.
There you go. Buy one for $1,000.
No.
And only like $400.
No thanks.
That's like trying to buy a Nintendo Switch now.
What makes the Go XLR the end-all be-all podcast streaming mic?
No, okay, so the Go XLR is a mixer, but it's not as confusing as like a normal mixer. It's very hard. It's just like hardware based. It's pretty slick and small. There's voice effects on it, so you can change your voice. You can save those effects.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you can wire the mixer, like wire the mic in one way, wire the music in one, have it go to your headphones, but not to the stream, etc. It saves when you mute it, and it's like all hardware. It's really cool. But to me, it might not be worth that price.
Yeah, I don't really need that right now.
No.
Like my stream's fine. It sounds good. And I'm getting it done. It's all bueno, you know?
Yeah.
But what isn't bueno in the world right now? You know, everything's just kind of shit. My city's closing down again.
Jesus.
It's like some otherworldly being is taking control of people and just making everything go crappy.
An aboleth?
A what?
An aboleth?
What is that?
No, that's for a different episode. Those are also some of my favorite creatures.
Oh, actually, I do know what you're talking about, but I'll feign ignorance here.
We're also feigning ignorance, but the beginning of the episode more than likely already told you what we're talking about, as well as the title of this episode. We're talking about our favorite. I
completely forgot.
Yeah, our favorite creatures, man. Actually, well, my favorite. I don't know if you said they're one of your favorites.
Cats?
Mind Flayers. The Illithids. The gross, nasty, cute, sometimes, and diabolical creatures.
The consensus seems to be that they're cute.
If you ask my girlfriend, yeah.
And probably Jamie and everybody else that we know. Weird, gross, cute things cute. People who like pugs probably think Mind Flayers are cute.
What's wrong with the pug, man?
I didn't say anything.
Oh my God,
I just making a
I don't know.
correlation here.
I feel like you're.
I'm just making a correlation here. I didn't say a thing about your small dog who has breathing problems.
Okay. Oh my Jesus. So similar to our last monster, which some of you may remember as the Beholder that we covered, this was also created by ye old Gary Gygax. Wait,
he birthed these?
He birthed these out of his noggin, man, in 1975.
No one else had written about these ever.
These are his babies. They appeared in the very first Monster Manual, 1977.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's a connection here that freaked me out when I did my very sparse reading to come up with some questions. Sure. Is that Beholders respect them?
Yeah, so they're both in the Far Realm, which that might have some respect in it. Yeah,
but Beholders don't. We spent the whole episode talking about how Beholders distrust everything.
We're going to spend most of this episode saying the exact same thing about Mind Flayers. They both have the issue of seeing themselves as the premium species, and I'm sure the Beholders still do, but they're also like, hey, this dude's from the Far Realm, and they have, I'm sure if it comes push comes to shove, they probably won't get along.
Yeah.
Especially because
I was just impressed.
Mind Flayers like to defile beholders.
It's like somebody just told me for the first time 2 + 2 is 4, and then the next page I go to, it says 2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah, you just get
it's
more.
Like, I don't know what to believe anymore. And it also makes me think that the Illithids, these boys, these Mind Flayers, are just stronger.
I don't think. Well, I think as a stat block goes, they are not stronger than a beholder. But as the ecology and the society of a Mind Flayer, they're most definitely stronger.
These guys are a lot more complicated than I thought they were, to be quite frank. Like, the beholder was pretty straightforward, but I didn't know a lot and still don't, especially about the ecology for Mind Flayers. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to.
Yeah, well, these guys have been around the block, man. So I said they were in the first Monster Manual. Then in 1983, in the Dragon magazines that they used to release back in the day, a guy by the name of Roger Moore released a article in this magazine called "The Ecology of the Mind Flayer," and this thing is really interesting. It's kind of sets the tone for what these guys will tend to be, and it's kind of written from the perspective of someone. It's almost like a story written from the perspective of someone encountering these Mind Flayers. So if you want to see kind of the birthing of these guys, go give that a look. The other books that at least I looked at for this is The Monster Manual, Volo's Guide, Lords of Madness, Book of Aberrations, my personal favorite, and The Monstrous Arcana, the Illithid. So, Braxton, what exactly are the Mind Flayers, since we've, been so excited about them? Some people don't know this. I thought it was pretty common knowledge, but Mind Flayers, that's not their correct term.
They're Illithids.
Yeah. But Illithid is also, I'm not entirely sure what the Mind Flayers call themselves, because Illithid is just an undercommon word that translates to Mind Flayer or Mind Ruler.
Well, what languages do they speak?
Well, I mean, they've learned undercommon in their wise age, but they also speak deep speech.
The good language?
Yeah, that's definitely your favorite language. That's what aberrations speak.
That's the good one.
So
do they have a native tongue?
I guess that'd be deep speech. Yeah. Okay. They have a text form that they speak in later down the line, called Qualith, I believe, is what it's referred to.
I don't know. I don't know this shit.
You don't know this shit?
You're the knowledge guy.
Yeah, it is Qualith. So this is a script that they write in, almost like Braille, that they can communicate
feel it with their tentacles.
They do, yeah. They touch their tentacles to it, and they can feel this, and they don't like write it or anything. They psionically imprint it upon any material. So
you're just telling me that there's a bunch of what are these guys? Mind Flayer books, Mind Flayer libraries, and each book between the cracks is just slimy tentacle ooze dripping from the last person who read it.
Unfortunately, as cool as that may sound, I don't think so, because they share one mind, so everything one other Mind Flayer understands, the other Mind Flayer will also understand.
Wait, then why do they need the writing?
I don't know, man, because they can. They also can speak, as we talked with deep speech and undercommon, but they don't have so it's kind of nasty. Speaking of tentacles, they shove their tentacle down their throat and make it act as a tongue to be able to communicate, because they don't have tongues. So it is if you witness Mind Flayer doing this, I cannot imagine the thoughts that would run through your head.
I'm trying to imagine this right now.
I wouldn't. Typically, they use a telepathy. That's their preferred.
I was expecting to learn plenty of things today that were going to surprise and maybe shock me, but not this early on was I expecting to.
Shoving it down their throat, man.
Well, like, what? You can't.
Well, this begs the question. We haven't explained it. What exactly do they look like?
Yeah.
They're humanoid in appearance, because many of them were humans at one point. But they have an octopus-like head and 4 tentacles that jut off their mouth. I consider, it's like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, then hold on. What came first then?
The Mind Flayer.
The human or the Mind Flayer?
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, is there an OG Mind Flayer that was just Mind Flayer from the beginning?
I would Well, I guess, yeah. That's a complicated topic.
I don't think you have the answer, but I want one.
It might be deep into the Mind Flayer Illithid lore, but I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg came first with these guys.
Maybe we'll come across the answer.
Maybe we'll at least theorize an answer.
I'm curious about that though.
So they're an endangered race as well. They're very close to being extinct, at least in the quote unquote, general D&D lore. If you're playing in a material plane world, then they are very close to dying out. But in ages past, and I'm sure if you're playing a different world or a different type of D&D, then these guys could be in this current Empire phase where they are kind of like the self-proclaimed rulers of the Inner Planes. Go check out our Planar episode to learn more about the Inner Planes.
And any upcoming Planar episodes, because apparently everybody's interested in this.
Planar episodes are sick, man. Planes are super interesting.
They're sick if they are the Far Realms.
Well, that would be a tough episode to have.
Yes, it would.
But the inner planes specifically are the positive energy plane and the negative energy plane, and then the fire, earth, water, and air planes. So they called themselves the rulers of these planes, and they had these cute little ships that they call nautiloids. And they use these ships to travel amongst the planes, harvesting different humanoids, usually intelligent, and returning back to their astral domains. They live upon the astral sea.
Interesting. Wait. This begs the question then.
Mm-hmm.
Are there Mind Flayer pirates?
Yeah, they basically are pirates, man. These guys are the pirates of the planes.
Well, that's just great because I've been watching a lot of One Piece.
Yeah, so there's a older D&D kind of offshoot called Spelljammer, and they were very much the space pirates of Spelljammer.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, these guys are very diverse.
I guess they do kind of steal stuff too. They steal your brains, probably.
Yeah, they're like the Inception dudes. They like go in and steal thoughts.
No matter how many times you reference that to me, I will not understand.
It's a confusing movie, man.
Okay, even if I watch it, I won't understand.
So the basic plot is you go into someone's brain, Spoilers? Their dream. No, this is like explained in the beginning. Go into someone's brain and go into their dreams and implant a thought into their brain. And they also steal thoughts to remove the thought from their brain.
Okay.
So it's kind of like these guys, kind of.
Yeah.
Ish. Just with Mind Flayers just have more brutality to it, more blood and gore.
And tentacles.
And Braxton, you might remember this because you were very intrigued on our Astral Plane episode on these beautiful bastards.
Oh, here we go.
The Gith.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Mind Flayers enslaved these guys back in the day.
Good stuff.
Using them for physical labor, and if they, felt up to it, some sustenance.
I learned that from the Baldur's Gate trailer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Gith race in that game, right?
Yeah, you can be a Gith.
That's the only way to do it, because they're taking the fight back to the Mind Flayers.
Actually, in a lot of the videos that we've seen in the trailers and the gameplay, I think the director was playing as a female Gith.
Cute, man.
Yeah.
Those guys are badass.
They're cool. I don't know how it's going to work in the game, but if
they rebelled against the Illithid Empire.
Did they lose?
No, they caused it to collapse. They're the reason that the Illithids are close to being extinct now.
How?
Like I said, they're badass, man. They rose up against their Illithid enslavers.
I feel like that would be quite the feat, and I need to know more.
I'll go check out our feed episode from last week.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only Illithids that survived were the ones that had already left and gone to the material plane. There are some speculation that some are still out there. There's even more speculation on if this revolution ever existed.
Okay, well, I at least know that there's 3 of them in our campaign because you stole my memories and almost killed us with them.
Yeah.
So these are tough cookies.
Yeah, if you guys did encounter them at a lower level, then probably one would be ready for them.
Thank you.
But hey, you wander where you wander, man.
This is the world within your brainscape. You can keep us safe and comforted.
Well, where did you encounter these guys, Braxton?
In their stronghold.
Okay, but where was the stronghold?
Underground, under a city.
Yeah. What's the other word for underground? In D&D?
The Underdark?
There.
Yeah.
They're often found within the Underdark.
Oh, hey.
And by often, I mean almost always.
Almost always? Why is that?
Well, because they can come out if they want. I mean, the sun doesn't hurt them, but they don't like it.
Wait, okay, so that is something I did see. Look at if it's daytime right now, look out your window. Can you see the sun?
I can.
What if that wasn't there?
I see where you're going.
Yeah, apparently these guys want to dim or destroy all suns.
Yep. That is one of their goals.
They're smart, right?
Very.
They know that they would die. Right?
Why would they die?
They're an organic being.
Yeah.
They need sun.
Look at the drow. They don't. There's a whole ecology in the Underdark.
Maybe I'm trying.
You're looking at it from a Earth perspective.
My pleb Earth perspective. Excuse me.
You're not thinking with the aberrations, man. Come on.
In secret, I'm actually an illithid.
But, I mean, I think you do have a point that they would lose the majority of their food.
Oh, I guess indirectly, yeah.
Yeah.
They lose the brains.
Which would be a problem. But the whole point of them taking up the sun is so all the illithid colonies underneath the world in the Underdark can now come up freely, not being annoyed by the sun, and just can take over everything.
Well, that sounds great. It kind of sound like vampires, but less directly so.
They remind me very much of, if anyone knows anything about Warhammer 40k, kind of like Tyranids, where they will attack a colony or attack a planet, and once they conquer this planet, they'll probably just move on. They don't care, really. They need more food, so okay, more food's on a different planet. Let's keep going, guys.
Just
Seems
an endless life of
annoying.
Consumption and hedonism.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basic. Gosh. I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
Well, as you mentioned with their diet, we've probably alluded to it quite plain enough. It does consist of brains.
Brains.
And that's it.
You know? Good stuff.
When they devour the brain, they acquire the memories of the victim, and the memories then become shared with the rest of the colony.
So, why brains, though?
Because they're yummy.
But really? Is it
for
the memories, the knowledge?
Probably some. I would also imagine it comes back to their worship of what is known as the Elder Brain. They revere the Elder Brain because of its knowledge, and maybe their quest to get more of this knowledge. And this kind of plays into when an Illithid dies, they, rather if they, not killed in battle, but if they just start dying, they will walk to the Elder Brain, almost like a ritual of sorts, and become consumed by the Elder Brain and get pulled into it. Their belief, thinking that their memories, their life continues within the Elder Brain, but that's just a complete lie. They cease to exist once they're inside the Elder Brain, and the Elder Brain just takes all their crap and sustenance and memories and keeps it to themselves.
Good shit.
Yeah, because they're parasitic.
That reminds me of Bloodborne.
This is Lovecraftian, man. I'm telling you.
Very true. Very true. You know the part I'm talking about, though. You just play through Bloodborne.
I did. Bloodborne's great, man.
It is good stuff. There's a lot of people watching it on Twitch right now. It's kind of weird. Don't know why.
It's always a good place.
So, but where did the brain come from?
It's another tough question.
Ryan, where do brains come from? I need answers. You can't just keep saying you don't know.
Well, that goes way back, man.
Yeah?
They do have a somewhat god/creator who they don't really worship, but more so respect its mental capacity, called Illithids. I don't know.
Yeah, I've not heard of that.
The Elder Brains wish to be more like Illithids.
God,
more so in their knowledge and mentality. But considering that they believe this to be the creator, I guess that's where it all came from.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like with all things, we don't really have an answer in our world where anything is created from. So I guess we're not going to find out where these guys came from. They don't even know with how smart they are. So lame. I also, PSA, Ryan has forbade me from looking things up during the episode.
Yeah, because we're going to get too lost. We already have so much to go through as it is.
I want to see what these things look like. I want to see what their god looks like.
A lot of them don't have the picture for
Pixar. It didn't happen, Ryan.
It's just a Mind Flayer face, like consuming a world. That's about it.
That's Cthulhu kind of looks like a Mind Flayer.
It is, yeah. It's Lovecraft right there, man.
Is it a Mind Flayer?
No.
No?
Mind Flayers don't exist in Lovecraftian world.
But Cthulhu kind of exists in D&D.
Yeah, but he doesn't consume brains.
What? Could he?
Not like these guys do.
Okay. Oh, yeah, in a direct sense. Oh, we should do an episode on Cthulhu.
We should.
Oh,
On the
boy.
Elder Gods. So the Illithids, let's say they once they get their dudes, they use them for multiple purposes. To eat, of course, as well as to reproduce.
Nasty.
Mind Flayers don't get it on like every other humanoid in existence. They do. They hatch eggs first of all,
Okay.
and these eggs hatch cute little tadpole-like creatures. And
Yeah.
you take what you do is you take your victim, for lack of a better term, you grab the victim, and insert this tadpole into their cranium. It can be through their nostrils, their ears, really any hole that gets to their brain will work. And over the course of the next week or so, their body will continue to morph and change and become a Mind Flayer.
So
Painful process.
that makes me curious, though.
Mhm.
Mind Flayers make me seem... It seems like they're kind of like an incomplete being.
Why is that?
Like, what would they do if they didn't have hosts to reproduce in? Wouldn't they die?
I mean, I guess they die, yeah, but there's an endless supply of humanoids.
I mean, technically there's not.
Well, you just wait for them to have more babies.
But why is this happening? See, now the question is, what came first, the tadpole or the Mind Flayer?
Or the Ilsinsen.
That guy. I'm just so confused, man. And I guess this is the whole plot of Baldur's Gate 3. Can you stop it?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, first we need to describe, to get to how you stop it, we have to describe what the Elder Brain does.
Okay.
So, firstly, the beings interact with kind of a inner internet network of sorts. They can interact telepathically with creatures within 120 feet of themselves, but they can also, I would say, quote unquote, communicate with all the other Illithids as long as they are within the Elder Brain's influence, which is within 5 miles of it.
That's not very far.
It's kind of far.
I mean, I feel like these guys would have an inseparable connection over any distance.
They don't.
But, okay, they don't.
But it controls them in a way, it forces them into obedience.
Couldn't you just, I guess if it's forced them into obedience, they wouldn't really try to leave, would they?
Nope, they don't.
Damn.
Not
Pretty
often.
sad.
And whenever a Mind Flayer sees, and JD, you're just yelling, buddy. He's in a mood, I'll tell you. He doesn't like the Mind Flayers, I think.
No. JD kind of looks like a Gith Yankee. He's the same color.
Yeah, he's upset. So whatever a Mind Flayer sees, all the other Mind Flayers in the colony see the exact same, as does the Elder Brain.
Can they opt into this? That seems like it would be pretty annoying. Oh,
I'm sure it is very annoying. All memories and knowledge is stored within the Elder Brain, and thus is, the Elder Brain is the Elder Brain is obviously, because of all this, the most protected part of the colony.
Oh my god, maybe JD's in my place. You're telling them my secrets, guys.
So Braxton's question, how do you stop him, comes back to kill the Elder Brain.
No, how do you stop the tadpole from eating your brain?
No, you don't.
You don't?
Not really, no. If it's getting in your brain, man, what do you do?
Well, then how would Baldur's Gate 3 exist? Can you, if they don't let us turn in to a Mind Flayer and be a Mind Flayer?
It takes a week, okay? And sure, there are things to get. So I'm going from the perspective of there's no one around you. You're captured by these guys. You're screwed.
All right.
But let's say if it just gets into you, then, there's things like Greater Restoration and all these other things. You can also kill the human, stomp on their head, destroying them and killing them, and then using a resurrection spell, bringing them back. It's an option.
That's some ReZero.
That's actually, I'm pretty sure that exact option is in one of the books I read.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So this is just making me wonder. For Baldur's Gate, then, do you think they're going to change the length of time it takes for a tadpole to affect you? Otherwise, that game's going to take place during a week.
Is that the story?
Your character, everybody. Yeah, that's the whole premise. Is your character has a tadpole in your brain?
Interesting. Well, maybe it'll take place in a week or so.
That's interesting. Maybe we'll get it out at some point.
Maybe you'll have some potion that slows it down. Who knows?
Well, another cool thing is that you have the option to use the tadpole's influence to enhance your persuasion or some of your abilities.
That seems like something you wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. It probably increases its influence over you.
Huh.
Spooky stuff. I'm excited for that game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing their story.
It's gonna be a good time. But for these tadpole boys, so basically you're screwed. You have to die to get it out of you.
More or less.
That's no fun.
No, it's not. You have to make a trip to the other side.
So can anything, or is it just humanoids that have to have these put into them?
They prefer humanoids, yeah.
Okay, so that answers my question. It can be things other than humanoids.
It can. They prefer it not to be because then it's not as useful to them. But there's a handful of things that it can create.
Okay. Yeah. Lay them on me.
Okay. So, there's the regular Mind Flayer, of course. Yeah.
Lame.
Okay, he's not that lame. He's kind of cool.
Okay.
But the kind of a rare creation that can be occurred is if let's say Braxton's band of adventurers heads into the Underdark and destroys the elder brain of this Illithid colony, scattering the Mind Flayers left and right. But they didn't realize that their tadpole chamber was left untouched. So the tadpoles, now out of the influence of the elder brain, start having to resort to cannibalism to keep themselves living. So they will fight each other, leaving only one, the strongest. They're called Illithids. My God, they're tough to say, dude. All the Illithid stuff just makes the tongue annoyed.
Wait, I thought isn't there like an advanced form of the Mind Flayer? I thought that was the Illithid.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, wait, so this tadpole gets into something.
No, they fight themselves. They fight all the other Mind Flayers. All the other,
I get what you're saying. Okay,
tadpoles.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And eventually, let's say they come into another colony, they are much stronger than other Illithids and very much are kind of off the beaten path of the Elder Brain. They're not as easily swayed and can, and often do, break away from the Elder Brain to form their own colony.
Yeah, so what does a Mind Flayer do that's not under the influence of an Elder Brain? I assume it basically just functions as a pseudo-Elder Brain for anybody it can get under its influence.
What
does it want?
No, so a Mind Flayer on its own that breaks away from the Elder Brain has completely free will as long as it stays out of the 5-mile radius. If it comes anywhere close to that if it comes within that 5-mile radius, I can't speak when I'm talking about the radius.
Radii.
Yeah, if it comes within that 5-mile radius, then it is immediately back in the influence.
Interesting. But
they are fearful. They're very fearful creatures, man. They feel like they're constantly being attacked by the Githyanki. They're paranoid, similar to the Beholders. But the biggest difference between them being under the influence and by themselves is they have a large respect for those that are unlike them. They treat others as equals, not as enemies.
Wait, so a Mind Flayer not under the influence does this?
Yeah.
What?
Because they have more of a respect and a search for knowledge for these powerful creatures instead of just being the strongest and badass motherfucker on the planet.
So, but are they still evil?
That'd be up to you to call. I would say they don't have to be.
Damn. Can I play as a Mind Flayer in my D&D campaign?
Nah, that seems a little too overpowered.
No, it's fine.
Well, but Mind... Okay, well, we'll get into combat later. These guys are tough to fight against.
Yeah, I know. I almost died. Well, there's 3 of them.
So the Mind Flayer that... Yeah, how would you roleplay a Mind Flayer that is not or that is under the influence. They're very arrogant, obviously, because really you're not role playing the Mind Flayer. You're kind of role playing the Elder Brain itself.
Yeah,
they're arrogant, power hungry, constant search for knowledge, devoid of empathy. As they experiment and turn humanoids into creatures, into thralls. They're constantly wanting to research and understand and manipulate the creatures around them. Very similar to the Beholder.
Oh, so wait.
Yeah.
In a sense, if you meet a Mind Flayer and you want to destroy the source if you're capable, it's more than likely that within a 5-mile radius of that Mind Flayer, the brain is. There's a chance it's not if it's an autonomous Mind Flayer, but okay.
Exactly. But getting to the Elder Brain might
it'd be tough as shit. But
because as Braxton learned, the second one Mind Flayer sees you, the rest of them know, and you probably don't have long until more starts showing up in a combat fight.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do they typically hang around each other?
I mean, within a 5-mile radius, yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that.
And colonies, can be big or small, depending on how long they've been there.
This is just making me wonder, because for Baldur's Gate, I can't remember in the trailer if the Elder Brain was on that ship or not, but they did have the tadpoles in some sort of vat and pulling them out. But he was warping everywhere, moving and whatnot, so I feel like he might have been autonomous. I don't know. It's making me think. It's making me do a thonk. Kind of excited.
It's dangerous.
Okay, please resume.
The only other thing that I want to touch on before we, get into the beautiful news segment, and then we'll talk about combat and the other things that they can create, is the Illithids. Can you try saying that for me?
Illithids.
Thank you very much. If and when they die, not in combat, where they are died and where they are killed, you know what I'm saying, where they fall apart, if their brain is placed within a brine pool, which is where the Elder Brain resides, then it will grow into a new Elder Brain, continuing this colony for eons.
So they're just kind of like a fungus. They're parasites, basically.
They are parasites. I mean, they're even parasitic even to the fact that what they consume, their culture reflects. So if they consume a bunch of, crappy idiot goblins, which they would not want to, but let's say they do, then they will dress and act much differently than a colony that just consumes elves.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, they'll wear different clothes and have different structures.
This is just making me want to read a bunch of different types of cultures of Mind Flayers. Did you have the opportunity or the chance to do that?
I mean, it really would be
up to you.
Yeah, it really be up to you and what you believe, what they could be consuming in the area around them.
Okay, so anybody who listens to this podcast at like in the dusk hours or at night, or maybe you're that kind of person, take a shot every time we say it's up to you.
It always is up to you, man.
It's up to you.
That's the dungeon crawl drinking game.
It's up to you. Say it 12 times by the end of the podcast. Okay, sorry.
We're going to kill people.
Nah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so they turned into an Elder Brain.
Yeah. Continuing that colony for God knows how long.
Okay. So I guess that kind of bookmarks it. I feel like there would be more to these guys, but a lot of it, again, is just what you want to make of them. Again, take a shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the basic society structure of them. Of course, there's all the books I mentioned at the beginning have pages upon pages that you could really delve into, but this is them in a nutshell, as we always say.
Yeah, we should name drop those on the tweeters.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been trying to do a little bit more before we even go further than that. Yeah. Ryan, bring us in.
Bow, 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 bow.
All right, you're experimenting. You're in your jazz phase.
You didn't like that one?
I'll reserve my judgment. Maybe it'll grow on me.
I got room to grow, man.
There was a little pause there. You gave me some anticipation.
I had to take a breath and get into the mood.
Okay, I respect it. I'm excited for the news today.
Me too. I don't know what you're going to talk about, and you said there's something really cool.
Yeah, it's one thing that was expected. I guess two things that were expected. One, an official release, and one, an awaited return due to stoppage of this content because of COVID. They couldn't get together, couldn't record. So the first one, Ryan.
Yeah.
The Curse of Strahd.
What about it?
The revamp is coming out.
Really?
Vamp, get it? Sorry.
Because he's a vampire in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming out October 20th, the revamp. They,
really?
of course, of The Curse of Strahd, the 2016 slam hit source that often is considered an entire campaign setting, but modularized that you could put wherever the hell you want. Ryan's done it himself. Even some of the names of the places are still in his campaign. So it's a great place to start, but there's a collector's edition for $99 US, which honestly, with everything that's involved in it, first off, we've addressed this already, but they're removing or revising any possibly offensive material. Mm-hmm. A lot about the Vistani and whatnot.
I'm curious if they changed. I mean, they weren't a big part of the story, but they were. I'm
sure it's just like more respectful or neutral language about them. There's Ravenloft paraphernalia that you get involved in this as well. As
I like paraphernalia.
That'll be super, super fun. You get a Taraka deck. I don't know what that is.
We use those. You might not remember those. Those are like the little cards, the tarot cards kind of things. We use those very briefly in the game. I don't know if you recall. It's
been a while. If you like,
it's supposed to, because Curse of Strahd is a campaign that you could run multiple times, and it takes the characters into different locations because different items, like the Sunlight Blade, is in a different spot because of this card reading.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess the Sunlight Blade, maybe not. I don't know. The next thing is you get physical handouts, of course, for everybody that's involved. You get physical handouts for everybody that's involved in your campaign to toss out to them so that they can use, look at, peruse. And then you also get
like a session 0 type of thing.
Yeah. There's also illustrated postcards for inviting players, and I imagine they're styled after the invites that Strahd probably gives to players.
That is awesome. That'd be much better than the ones I made for you.
Yeah, imagine you got some D&D friends you guys have always been wanting to play. You open your mail and you get a freaking invite from a vampire who can play D&D.
I see it. Have you seen the pictures of them?
No, I haven't.
They're like little cute postcards.
That's awesome. But yeah, that's coming out on October 20th for $99 US. If you're interested in getting some more, I suppose, politically correct revisions of Wizards of the Coast, their efforts to be more modern, and a fan favorite rewriting of one of the, I would say, most important campaign settings / modules. Check this out. It's all over. It happened today. Man,
if I didn't already own the book and the Taraka deck, I probably would buy this.
It's super, super cool. The pre-orders are live on Amazon. Go check that out. We don't have an affiliate code or anything.
I wonder what the Dungeon Master's screen looks like.
Probably super freaking dope. Is there anything else that I missed on there that you're seeing?
No, I'm just looking at the picture of it. It looks awesome. It's like a coffin.
Yeah, right before we started recording, I was looking just one last moment to see what we had for news, and it came out 5 hours ago, or like 6.
The interesting thing, I would imagine, same with this one, but when Wizards of the Coast releases DM screens for these campaign modules, the information on them are directly related to the module itself.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so it'll have locations on there. It'll have like trinket roll tables. I know it probably has the Gothic trinket roll tables from Curse of Strahd in there as well. Just, quick, easy stuff. Probably very handy if you're running it for the first time.
Yeah, so if you were thinking about running Strahd, hold off for just another few months if you can.
Yeah.
Maybe make a setting that it could fit into there. October 20th.
Oh, that's perfect timing for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Smart move.
Oh, you could have you could do LARP, or you could just dress up as Strahd, like Halloween stuff, and have a session on the 30th, 31st.
I would love to cosplay as Strahd, man. He is so slick.
So slick. There's some art that's been coming out, too. But the second thing, and the next one. Yeah. So this is the next one that I don't know I can't recall if you've been caught up with these guys, but Critical Role is returning.
Right.
Finally, on July 2nd.
Yeah. That was earlier this week. Or earlier this month.
Well, I mean, hey, now you know. We haven't covered it on this. So if you didn't know, you probably did. They're coming back.
Speaking of which, Braxton, you need to apologize, don't you?
I had completely forgotten until you just.
I know.
No. So this was like an
It should be a
excellent.
joint apology. I should have caught it too.
Okay. So hold on. You know how you watch something for the second time and you're like, damn, that foreshadowing has been there for like episodes, for chapters.
Yeah.
Forever in the podcast. Since the months of June and July have come into our vocabularies because of the times, I get them confused.
Definitely. I mean, it's a weird time for calendars anyway.
Every time.
The days and weeks just blend into each other.
So, in this case, I have also messed up our year anniversary.
Yeah.
So, it will be
the date of this podcast. Actually, technically, it's the day we're recording it, right? I believe.
Well, it came out on the 30th of July.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
So
it's technically this podcast, I guess.
It is this week of this podcast. So if you hadn't celebrated already by following us, getting on our Discords and whatnot, do that now. You didn't
celebrate last month.
This really just was a month-long celebration. That's all it was.
It was just a way for us to milk out 2 celebrations.
Yes. So wish us a happy 1 year.
I mean, what better time to celebrate the year anniversary than with Mind Flayers, right? They're our favorites. So
let's skedaddle back into them.
Thanks I do have some the news. DM's Guild stuff. You want me to talk about real quick?
Nah, I'm just kidding. You can do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So we're actually doing this new thing where at the end of each month we'll do some DM's Guild shout out stuff because DM's Guild is awesome, and maybe it'll bring Braxton around to more third party type of stuff.
Maybe.
The first one I have. What's up?
Maybe.
The first one I have pulled up is Esmeralda's Encyclopedia of Evil, which is advertised as a book in the vein of Volo's Guide and Mordenkainen's and Tome of Foes. So think of just a big expansion of creatures and monsters and stat blocks, kind of like a Tome of Beasts, etc. But I would imagine more in depth. And it opens with, very applicable to what we're talking about today, aberrations, which is, always just a delicious topic.
Anything that's not of this boring normal realm is good.
And Braxton's favorite is a few chapters down, Elder Evils.
Sorry, what?
Elder Evils.
I'm paying attention now. What was the name of the thing?
Elder. The book.
Yes.
Esmeralda's Encyclopedia of Evil. We will indeed tweet this out. Don't worry. Okay. But it's awesome. I definitely recommend it. It came out July 1st.
Hell yeah.
Then we also got. It's $20. Then we have. What's up?
I should start looking through these sorts of things because I'm writing a campaign.
It's great inspiration.
So good.
Speaking of inspiration, Mythic Encounters. It's the next one on my list here. I guess I should also say the authors, but some of these have like 5 or 6 authors, so definitely please go check them out.
Yeah, we'll have them on our Twitter.
The Mythic Encounters is kind of like a, it's taking the stuff in Mythic Odysseys of Theros and adding some twists and turns and making creatures that are larger than life, giving them the mythic traits that are brought about within Theros. I definitely recommend it. They're for big, high-level campaigns. A lot of the monsters are over CR 25. These are these are gigantic, badass dudes, but I mean they are called Mythic Encounters. This is for late level campaigns, but it is some really cool usage of stat blocks. A lot of times when you get to high levels like that, it is just number overloads. But I think the way they handle these is beautiful.
Do you need Theros to have this?
No, you do not.
Okay, cool. That was my big question.
It's just recommended.
DLC for DLC.
Yeah,
that is D&D though.
And this might come into handy for Braxton himself.
Right,
oh, wait, hold on. The last one it's currently on sale for $10, normally $11, but it's normally $15. Now, this could come in handy for everyone who's making a campaign, or if you're currently playing a campaign that is within using the Faerun gods, which is a lot of the 4th edition type gods. It's called Gods of Faerun. Makes sense, by Oliver Clegg.
Oh.
It's currently $5.96 currently, or usually $8, and just has every single god in the Faerun catalog, including Bahamut, Kelemvor, Malar, Mask, all those lovely individuals. And it has a page talking about what they believe in, what their alignments usually are, suggested classes, how to earn and lose piety. So if you're a paladin or a cleric, this is important. Talks about devotion to this god. So if you're a player, this could be useful in how to roleplay, and a DM, this could be useful in how to build this god into your world.
Yeah, so I may actually buy that.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Because I could just write down the titles and names of gods and bim bam bomb, done. But I want to start reading through modules and get a feeling for the flow of these sorts of things.
Exactly. And even if you don't use these gods, you can use at least the format that they give you to inspire you to make your own, kind of a similar idea.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome. Then I got one more, and this is an adventure, so kind of a different one than the others, called The Horrors Beneath Hopenser Asylum. This is by Liam Murray for $1.50.
How can you not?
Yeah, $1.50. It is a short, little 27-page adventure, and it is kind of supposed to be, quote-unquote, a continuation of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, but of course you could toss this into any place that has an asylum. And it's kind of a creepy, dark story for, I believe it's 6th level. Maybe, something like that. I believe it's 6th level. 6th to 7th level. It takes about 4 to 6 hours. It could be a fun one-shot. It could be a fun side quest in your world. But it's for those people that like the, kind of the darker side of D&D, as in the Mind Flayers, of course.
Man, all these modules give me so much inspiration. Whenever I watch stuff now, I'm sure all of you writers or people that make quest-like experiences, every time you're watching something, you're thinking about how this fits into the structure of a campaign or a quest. I guess I'm going through One Piece, I'm like, okay, this is the initial counter, these are the people that introduce stuff. Here are the threads that eventually meet together, like they meet this person at a random time, and you don't think he's connecting. You're like, why the hell did they introduce this? Turns out he's the big bad involved with the people of the island that you're about to go to, and you're like, oh shit, I met that. It's just... And then
you think, hey, I can turn this into a quest in my own world.
I've started to write things down to keep my iPad near me.
Gorgeous.
Good stuff.
So last thing I want to talk about, continuing the dark thread as we dive back into Mind Flayers in a second, is a Kickstarter that will be going away in probably about a little bit more than 2 days whenever this podcast comes out, called Night Fell. It is a horror fantasy setting, an entire campaign setting for 5th edition. It's a grim, dark world under the influence of the moon. And that's a capital moon. The artwork is gorgeous. I really want to check out more of it. There's a free PDF quick start download if you're really intrigued to really dive into it. It's estimated to come out in about a year, in November of 2021.
Okay.
But that's standard for Kickstarter. So if it looks something that'll be up your alley, then go and grab it. It's past its goal by folds, so don't worry about it not completing. Just go ahead and pick it up.
The good thing about a lot of Kickstarters, especially written content, is there's usually PDF versions that you can still buy after they're done.
And the PDF, if you want, is definitely cheaper than...
Oh, yes.
Like, it's only 24 euros or $29.
Why can't I just be like a Mind Flayer and eat the memories of people who have learned these things? It would be much easier.
Well, I mean... How would you fight these guys, Braxton? You have fought these guys.
You don't. Run. Leave now, because more will come, and you lose your memories.
It?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just you face a Mind Flayer, game over?
Maybe not, but we didn't do it. We didn't figure it out. I probably could have done it if my party wasn't getting dicked on, but,
That's true. I mean, you guys did encounter something the Mind Flayers can and probably will create, the Oblex. An ooze-like creature that is my favorite thing that they can make.
That was a weird experience.
Yeah. So you didn't even get to rest. You just encountered those guys, which was already a tough encounter for you. Mm-hmm. And then hit a Mind Flayer. Of course, you didn't know it was a Mind Flayer at first, but you found out pretty quick.
I knew. When I saw it, I did.
So let's say you had an appropriate amount of rest, okay? Mm-hmm. Your party knew that there was a Mind Flayer encampment colony down this tunnel. What would you do? You definitely would have to plan, right? You can't just dive into these guys.
Yeah. You. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look at the stat blocks. This is probably good. So this is a pretty fresh experience here. To my general knowledge, they're spellcasters. They're squishy.
Ish.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're spellcasters, but they're psionic. It's not spells.
Gotcha. So it's like brain waves. Get your dumbest team members. Like 3 intelligence or less. Get a bunch of
well, so they can dominate you. They have dominate monster is one of their abilities.
Get really smart.
Which is, one of your party members. I just had like fireballs and things tossed at you guys after she was controlled.
I imagine you probably need ranged weapons for sure.
Yeah.
They can levitate, can't they?
Yes.
Okay.
They fly.
All right. Get ranged weapons. If you could lure them into a small room, that'd probably be good.
Definitely. I would think so. Kind of kite them down someplace.
Yeah, just get a long tunnel, get your strongest linear spell, and just shoot down as they try to come in and kill you.
As you mentioned, the fight does not stop until the Elder Brain is destroyed.
Yeah, so you probably need to sneak around and figure out how the hell to get to the Elder Brain and poke it and kill it.
Stealth would probably be smart. You have to be careful, because telepathy is a no-no around these guys, because if you do any telepathy within the Elder Brain's radius, then the Elder Brain can and will hear it. So be careful. No.
Don't think.
Don't think.
Shh. Calm
Use your
mind.
words.
So you've got the stat block. What is good? What are they bad against?
Okay. I mean, that's a good question. What are they bad against? So they are a little. I mean, if you can get a Mind Flayer right in front of your face, they have only 71 hit points and an AC of 15.
Oh, damn.
So if everyone just wails on it in one round, boom, you're set.
Okay.
Well, good luck getting to that one round, right? That's the problem. They are brutal, and nearly all additions of these monsters from the very beginning makes it able to kill PCs indiscriminately, very easily. They have the Mind Blast ability, which stuns you if you fail a DC 15 intelligence saving throw, which is not, not that high.
That's not low.
Yeah, but it's not low. I mean, it's not high either.
It's pretty average.
Middle. Right.
It's enough to get worried. I would be stressed.
It is, definitely. It is something to be scared about. And it's not, actually, sorry, this is the tentacle ability. Mind Blast is the same as well, but I did get a little sidetracked. The Mind Blast specifically stuns you. You also take some damage. You're stunned for a total time of a minute, but you do repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, so you can get out of it.
Typical debilitation.
Typical debilitation. But the tentacles, if the Mind Flayer gets close enough to use the tentacles, it's the same intelligence saving throw. If it hits, and you become grappled or stunned, if you fail the saving throw, until the grapple ends. Then Extract Brain comes
there
into.
It is. The suck.
Yeah, the suck. And it has to be used on an incapacitated humanoid, which is why both of their abilities makes you stunned. So, if this thing hits you, you take 10d10 piercing damage. And if you're reduced to 0 hit points, the Mind Flayer kills the target by extracting it and devouring the brain. Just like that. Don't
use Tomb of Avistus when it's near you. Because when that ice melts, you're incapacitated for...
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I did do that, Oh my god!
Things could have gotten nasty.
Did you realize that?
I did, yeah.
No! Oh boy.
But, and this is obviously up to the DM, but I would argue that these guys are less about killing right away and want to consume and turn them into Mind Flayers, at least a couple of them. So if the whole party immediately succumbs to a Mind Blast, they're all stunned. Instead of having them be killed, turn them into, make them get captured and then turn into thralls. But of course, this imposes the new adventure of escaping from an Illithid lair. That's fun.
Would not be fun.
Oh, sounds fun to me.
No thanks. I don't think we've ever been in a sort of situation like that. That we like we've gotten into something, but we didn't have to start a session. Like, okay, get out.
I've thought about it. If you were to all quote unquote die in this encounter, then this creature wouldn't kill you; it would capture you instead.
If it was a total party.
Okay, the Mind Flayer being one of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
But we haven't discussed the other things that attack you in a Mind Flayer combat encounter, being the thralls. And these are the guys that they've turned into their, mind dudes. The guys they've dominated and taken over their brains. Common thralls are the Duragar, which are these like dwarven type creatures, Grimlocks, Kuatoa, Quaggoths, and other various humanoids.
Just sounds like you're speaking another language. Which kind of you are. You are speaking another language. So we're getting to the end here, and there's something I wanted you to touch on, please. Can you tell me about the dragon and the beholders?
What's that?
The Mind Flayer dragons and the Mind Flayer beholders. Did you not read about those?
Well, the beholder I assume you're talking about is the Mind Witness, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so the Mind Witness is when they take a beholder, which I don't know how they get this beholder, but they take it and bring it in front of the Elder Brain. The Elder Brain converts it, morphs it, and is basically kind of turned into this way that the Illithids are able to amplify their psionic power. It's kind of sad when you look at it.
All right, and I also read that often these Mind Witnesses, and this is for Jamie, they partner with flumps for some reason. They didn't explain it at all or go further, but they apparently partner with things sometimes. But there's also brain stealer dragons, apparently.
Talk about that. It's not in any of the books I read.
Really? Okay, come on, look it up. I need you to see this thing. It looks like Valhazak from Monster Hunter World.
Okay, I like that.
It's so cool. And you can it's got a rating for all the similar stuff like Wormling, very young juvenile, young adult, like dragon levels. It's so sick. I just wanted to mention that. A brain stealer dragon. Brain stealer is one word. And just find the Forgotten Realms fandom.
Okay, yeah. Brain stealer dragon. Okay, he looks
so
creepy.
Sick, dude.
Interesting. This is a 3rd edition dude.
It's so cool. Always lawful evil, subtype earth dragon. Like most Illithids in their creations, brain stealer dragons had squid-like heads and brain-devouring maws. They possess white bloated eyes above 4 tentacles drooping from their heads. So very similar to Mind Flayers.
Very interesting.
Draconic bodies are covered in small purple scales. Oh, fleshy flaps of eldritch skin.
God, he's losing his mind. The other crazy, I've heard of the Mind Flayer vampires as well. So these, I mean, there's lots of different variations of these. And there's the Alhoon, which is the Mind Flayer that gets some arcane knowledge in their brain. Then you also got the Illithid, the Alhoon that becomes a lich. I mean, there's all sorts of different guys. The problem, and you kind of mentioned this with combat against these guys, is I think the difference between combat with these guys and a normal like orc type dude is that, like a great Lovecraftian horror, that there is no real true motive that the players or humanoids can really understand and get, and figure out how to counter. And these guys can and will seriously harm and hurt the PCs without even caring.
Yeah, so they're not the most fun from an RP perspective.
I don't know. I think they are if used correctly. Because they're not harming the player character, they're harming the mind. They're not utilizing, blood and guts. They're psionically trying to control the player characters, which can lead to some interesting interactions.
Well, yeah, I would just say a Mind Flayer used in a vacuum, i.e. like no stuff around it, is kind of not the best. Like, I need a combat encounter right now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely not. These guys...
I wouldn't use them that way.
And that brings us probably into the last thing that any monster needs is a plot hook. How do you bring these into your game?
Just plop a Mind Flayer hive somewhere.
Okay, all right, true. But I think be inspired by different stuff. I would definitely be inspired with like the Oblex. You just movie,
that's what you did.
The Thing.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so then the players start questioning on who is real in this city.
Yeah, context. We've talked about this before, but Ryan had an entire village basically controlled by this Oblex.
And they chased it. They chased it down into the mines, which led them into the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
Another way you could use them is have a Mind Flayer layer that is a nautiloid. They're spaceships. And so the players get onto it, not knowing it's not a Lloyd, but then quickly find out that this is a ship that is planning on leaving with or without you guys on board. which could make for some fun planar travel adventures.
Could be.
Or could be terrifying.
All right.
You could also have the Illithids that begin to undermine the empire above the ground, tricking humans who are, unaware, and start turning them into puppets. And even further, like you said before, if you destroy the sun, then you lose your food source. So they could also be helping an empire that's on the brink of extinction from an outside force, because this new empire is much stronger. So they're going to be helping the weaker empire destroy these badass dudes so they can keep eating the weaker dudes.
Honestly, that could be a pretty decent campaign setting. Maybe everybody plays a Githyanki trying to break out from an Illithid stronghold or
and then
society.
Go back and kill them all.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
There's lots of ways to use these guys.
A world where they've actually destroyed the sun.
Damn.
That's not mine. Don't get any ideas, Ryan. That's not what mine is.
Damn.
But that's Mind Flayers.
That is Mind Flayers. They are creepy, cool, scary, and cute.
So we gave all the information as to probably why they're your favorite, but Ryan, why are they your favorite? Give us like 3 points.
Okay. Because there's lots of ways you can use them. There are Lovecraftian, and they remind me of Cthulhu when I look at them.
Nice. Oh, you need to see a certain monster in Monster Hunter World.
Okay, I'm getting there, man.
It's
getting there.
So good. So good. And the armor.
Does it look like a Cthulhu?
It's Eldritch, basically, ish.
I like Eldritch.
I want to tell you what the armor looks like, but I can't. It's so
I'll get
perfect.
There. Am I getting there? Is it in Iceborne?
It's in Iceborne, Ryan. It's literally the essence of everything that I enjoy.
Okay.
Even going as far as like, I mean, Monster Hunter is all anime, but I mean like Smash Bros too. Like it's everything I enjoy thematically and like in the games that I currently play. It's everything. It's so good. But
you've got me very high.
I forgot.
Well, what happened? You okay?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows what? What?
That you're Ryan.
I am, and you're Braxton, I think.
We didn't tell them.
And we're the Dungeon Crawl.
We are the Dungeon Crawl. Thanks for listening to us this week. I'm sorry I forgot to introduce ourselves. You've probably been wondering this whole time.
I hope you like Illithids.
Who the hell are these guys?
Who the hell? I mean, if you listen to this far, you probably figured it out by now.
I would hope. I hope you got some information about Mind Flayers. If you didn't like them before, hopefully you like them now.
Yeah, pick up those books if you really are interested. The one I recommend the most is Lords of Madness, Book of Aberrations, because there's a bunch of pages as well as 2 layers for Illithids Cool. And there's also other chapters of other aberrations.
And of course, any of the stuff that we've talked about, hopefully we'll be posting on our Twitter, which is at Dungeon Crawl Pod. Same thing for the Instagram. If you're looking to email us, send us a longer bit of text because Twitter's chopping down your word limit. You can send us an email at thedungeoncrawlpod@gmail.com. Again, don't forget the D in the beginning.
Hop in our Discord as well. If you don't want to email, you can say all your crap inside there.
It's actually been getting pretty active lately, I would say, in terms of people that are chatting in there. We've got a few places for you to share your art, just waffle about general things, talk about your favorite tabletop stuff, make comments on episodes that we have as they come out. You can give us feedback or reply to something that I forgot to say. Tell me whatever the hell it was that I was trying to say. There's even a DM's Guild tab if you guys feel like popping in there, joining the community, and giving a little chat, meeting some people.
So if you're not in there, you are just missing out.
Just missing out.
I know you're still way to say it.
But there's also one thing you're missing out on, you know?
What's that?
We talked about it earlier. At the beginning of the
Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, no. It's a little thing called Apple Music, iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Make sure you rate us 5 stars on the old iTunes. It really helps us out, gets us higher in those charts, so more people find us and join the Dungeon Crawl party.
Yeah. If you think somebody would enjoy us, tell them about us. Gives me a little melatonin, you know?
Is that the name of our viewers, the party members?
Is that?
I don't know, because we're in a dungeon crawl. We're all walking down together.
Aren't they the dungeon crawlers? I don't know. I think that's already taken by some people.
That doesn't sound good anyway.
You guys, you know what? Come into the Discord and tell us what the heck you want us to call you. You know, you figure it out. We'll understand. But that's
what are we
that's
doing
been
next
us.
week?
I don't
Who
know
knows?
what we're doing next week.
We never know.
We're tossing around music. I don't think it'll be
Cool.
next week. It'll take some time.
Yeah, we'll have to prep a little bit more for that.
Well, that'll be coming within the next like probably few weeks or so. We'll see. I don't know. But again, for the second
It'll be
time,
something good though.
he's Ryan.
He's Braxton.
And this has been the Dungeon Crawl. Thank you so much for listening to this wavelength staring me down in the maw of my tentacly face.
Make sure you shove your tongue down, your tentacle down there.
That's what we've been doing this whole time.
All right, I'll take it out now.